Hello, I am Mystic Orange and this is video hashtag 587. Make sure to like, share and subscribe. So in this video, I'm continuing with my Winx Club rewrite. So this is going to be the third episode. Make sure to check out my previous videos, as well as the previous episodes. I will link the playlist in the description. Anyway, let's continue with this video. Season 1, Episode 3. It feels like magic. So I've chosen this title for this episode. If you want to know, in Focus Season 1, the title of the episode is called It Feels Like Magic. I do like this title for this episode. For episode 1, it's called An Unexpected Event. For this episode, we're wrapping things up for the first episode of Winx Club. So I basically turned this episode from Winx Club into 3 separate episodes. And in my opinion, I like that I did that. So basically, the first episode we're more focused on Bloom is a slice of life episode, and the second episode we're more focused on Stella and her backstory, and the third episode we're wrapping things up from the first episode of Winx Club. Also, to keep in note, the title "It Feels Like Magic" is one of the songs from the Focus album. So in this episode is the 4th of September. I also want to make a correction from my last episode. I stated that I started the school at 4th of September. That information is incorrect. I started my school at 5th of September. Anyway, so the episode starts. For the first scene of this episode, we're going to have Stella and Bloom, going for shopping. It's kind of like afternoon at this point, so Stella and Bloom are gonna go for their shopping. This is their second time shopping. Well, this is Stella's second time shopping in Gardenia. Like she did some shopping yesterday, and she wants to do some more today. Also, since Stella doesn't know how currency works in Earth or Gardenia, Bloom helps pay for her things. You guys can decide how the shopping will play out. Have fun with it. I mentioned in the last episode that I'm going to move things around. So you know the bit where there's Nut and the hunting troll and the tricks? You know how I mentioned I'm going to move that along? Well, that's going to be this episode. So everything else from episode 1 will be this episode. So after a video montage of Bloom and Stella shopping, we're fading to black to move to the next scene, and it's the bit where Nut is meeting the tricks. It's going to be ominous. It's going to be similar to both Cinnaloom and the Focus version. We're going to merge the two things together. However, things will be different here. Instead of how the tricks look like in the first episode, we're gonna actually make them look like themselves. Like Icy, Dusty, and Stormy will look like themselves in silhouette, obviously, not just some floating hairs in the clouds. I didn't enjoy it when they did that in the original. And obviously, they're going to be in some area in Magix, like in a dark alleyway. So as the scene plays out, it's gonna be similar to how it is in the Cinnaloom and Focus. Nothing much has changed. So Nut has failed the tricks and hasn't retrieved the scepter. And just so you know, Nut is an ogre and he is the henchman of these tricks. Just so you know, I've added some lore about ogres in this show. So what I added, when an ogre is born, they are born to serve the masters. That's just the fate of all ogres. The trick scowled at him, for not retrieving the scepter and failing the mission. And instead of not introducing the hunter troll to the tricks, we're going to have the tricks use the whispering crystal to summon the troll. Like in this original show, the tricks use their whispering crystals to summon monsters like the Minotaur and the Nightmare Monster. So the trains order not to go on with the mission once again, but this time with the hunter troll. And I'm going to name the troll like I did with the ghouls. I'm going to call him Shrek, just for the lulz. So not the ogre and Shrek the troll both go onwards to find Stellar Scepter. In the next part of the scene, we will have Bloom and Stella coming back from the shops, going back home. You guys can decide how this part will go as well. There's so many fun ideas you can come up with all these shopping ideas. Maybe Bloom and Stella can have their moments. So while that's happening, back with the villains, Not and Shrek, they transport through the portal and they end up on Earth. They end up in some alleyway in Gardenia. By the way, they used the Magic City airport to get here. Shrek tries to smell the air to search for the girls. So in the next scene, Bloom and Stella they arrive at home, back at Mike and Vanessa's house. Kiko is inside as well. They greet the parents, and they have their moments. And Bloom wants to practice more using her spells with Stella. We can have this moment where Stella's like helping Bloom with her powers. She really does need a school. However, it wouldn't hurt to, have Stella help her out. The time passes, it becomes evening, and Noct and Shrek finally find the destination of where the girls might be, but they still have no idea where they are. Shrek struggles to find the scent of the girls. So anyway, Noct and Shrek are lurking outside. Stella and Bloom are upstairs hanging out together, having their girl time. Kiko's in the kitchen eating his carrots or whatever. And Mike and Vanessa are chatting together in the living room. So while everyone's at their place, Mike and Vanessa discuss with each other regarding Bloom. They want to be brave with each other. They talk out their feelings, how they feel about Bloom. Mike is more reluctant, and Vanessa's a bit more eager. However, they come to their senses, and Mike accepts. They want to be supportive parents, and we all know Bloom's secret. Vanessa might know the secret, Bloom's secrets. It's up to them now. Like they need to be strong parents, and they need to let the only adoptive daughter, seek out the new world of hers. Also, I want to point out, like, yes, Bloom is adoptive in my story, and I also want to bring up, like, in my story, I think I'm gonna have Vanessa be infertile. This could be a reason, like, Mike and Vanessa have always wanted a child of their own, but could never had one. This could be why they adopted Bloom. Shrek suddenly finds out where the smell is coming from, and he finally tracks down where Bloom and Stella is, and not follows Shrek. Shrek points to the house that Bloom and Stella are inside. The two creepy guys plan to sneak in through the back door. In the next scene, we're at the kitchen. Kiko, is busy eating his food. But a few moments later, ominous, creepy shadows loom over behind the door. And this is Horror 101. Like, could you imagine, like, being at your home and it's evening, and then creepy men, shadowy figures, stand outside your home? Kiko sees this and he freaks out. This is the creepiest thing ever happened. Noct and Shrek bang the door, and Kiko freaks out and he tries to run away. Mike and Vanessa can hear this commotion from the living room and wondering what's happening. Stella and Bloom are also freaking out upstairs, like, what the heck is happening downstairs? However, in this scene, I will cut out the part where like goes back to towards Mike and Vanessa to tug them. I'm not gonna have Mike and Vanessa be ambivalent towards Kiko's stress. When clearly someone's banging outside their home, we're not gonna have that. However, we will keep the part where like Kiko shows some objects towards the door to keep the door shut, just for the comedic purposes. Mike and Vanessa are wondering what's happening and they try to go and investigate. And soon they finally see him, Shrek looming over, smashing through the door, standing right in front of Mike and Vanessa. With terror in their eyes, Mike and Vanessa scream for help. Kiko goes hide himself in a cabinet somewhere. Stella and Bloom hear the commotion from downstairs and they try to rush downstairs to see what's happening. Not then threatens Mike and Vanessa to tell him where the girls are. And Stella and Bloom reveal themselves behind Not and Shrek. Turn around, Sunshine, they're right there. We then have Stella transform to her magic wings. She's the first fairy we see transforming in her magic wings. This is a homework for you guys. Try to recreate Stella's transformation. Make your own version of Stella's transformation. Have fun. Bloom warns Stella that they don't want Not or Shrek to hurt Mike or Vanessa or Kiko. Nor do they want to wreck their house either. Besides, let's have some space for some fighting scenes. Let's take this outside, shall we? Stella uses her scepter to teleport them outside. During the fighting scene, we're going to have Not face Bloom and Shrek face Stella. We're going to omit the specialist entirely. I personally think it's really random for specialists to show up in this episode. And I want the troll to be defeated in this episode once and for all. We're not going to have him return in the future episodes. Also, we're going to have the fighting scenes a little bit different here. We're changing the script right here, and because the specialists are included, things will be different here. And Bloom realizes that she's in a pickle. She's just an Earth girl, and she doesn't know much about magic. She only knows a little that Stella has taught her. And she is the one who has to face Not, a heavy ogre. However, Bloom has a good idea. She uses her Earth tactics. This includes running away from Not while he chases her. And Stella faces Shrek, and this troll is nothing like the dogs that she faced before. He's incredibly strong. However, Stella tries to use her powers to attack the troll. She uses burning sunlight on him. To defeat the troll, they need a lot of energy to defeat it. While Bloom is getting chased by Not, she sees what's happening with Stella and the troll. With his huge strength, the troll knocks out Stella cold. The troll is about to crush Stella into fairy dust. Instinctively, Bloom doesn't know what to do, and out of nowhere, a huge ball of light comes out of Bloom. It's just like what happened in the park. A huge dragon comes out of Bloom and it defeats the troll. And she uses a scorching flame and it blasts Not away. And with her full power, Shrek is killed forever. And meanwhile, Not is injured on the floor. Bloom helps Stella get up from the ground. Stella is fine now. And Stella wants Not to get out of Earth once and for all. We're going to have the Fox's line, what she said in the first episode. Something to do with not having a bath. That was a fun line for Stella to make. And just like that, Not claps his hand and he disappears. And while that's over, Stella congratulates Bloom for proving herself once again that she is a fairy. And this is why she needs to come with her to Althea. And this confirms that Bloom really needs to go to Althea. And then Mike and Vanessa stand outside their home and they see Stella and Bloom, together. And it's time now. Bloom really needs to confirm it. She is a fairy and she needs to learn more about herself and needs to, learn more. And Mike and Vanessa finally come to their senses and they gladly accept, like, yes, Bloom can go first thing tomorrow to Althea. They exchange their hugs and, have their moments one last time. This is kind of bittersweet moment for Bloom and her parents, but, it has to be done. And with this bit, we can have like an emotional video montage with an emotional song about Bloom and her parents. Maybe something about her childhood living with her parents. We can have it here. We can have this be a nice moment. We then move on to the next day. It's 5th of September, and everyone's up and ready. This will be the day where Bloom enters Magic's, but we're not gonna rush things. Let's have our moment before we leave. While everyone is downstairs, they notice like the place is still a mess from the events from last night. And Stella offers some help to clean up the place. She uses her magic to clean up the entire house. Bloom and Stella's luggage are ready and filled. She packed everything from her room. And she's also taking Kiko with her. I want to add some information here. In the original, Vanessa and Mike goes with Bloom, Stella and Kiko to Althea and Magix. For my rewrite, I'm not gonna have Mike and Vanessa going along with them. And I have so many reasons why I'm not gonna have them going along with them. The first reason is that, like, what happens in the original, like, Mike and Vanessa do appear in episode 2. However, they can't go past the barrier. There's a barrier in Magix that keeps Vanessa and Mike out. I'm gonna admit that entirely. We're not gonna have this barrier or whatever. This barrier never gets brought up in the future episodes. And we do have Earth people ending up in Magix like whenever they please. And I want some excuse for Mike and Vanessa not going and still, being on Earth. We could just say, like, for their safety, it is best for Mike and Vanessa to stay on Earth. Just because they don't use magic, it's safe for them to be here. And also, I don't think we need them to go in the next episode. In the next episode, they only show up like a bit in the first part of the episode. And then they disappear with Stella's magic. So we're gonna have the bit where like Stella tells them it's best they stay here where they'll be safe. They don't need to worry. Bloom will be by her side no matter what. And I think Bloom will handle this because she is a fairy and she'll able to use it. And Kiko is going along with Bloom to support her whenever he can. Vanessa gives Bloom a basket of goodies. And she tells Bloom that she's gonna miss her mom's cooking. And she tells Bloom that she can always call her when she needs to. Bloom and Vanessa exchange hugs. And just like in the original, in the episode 2, we're gonna have Mike tell Kiko to make sure he looks after Bloom. Because I think that's a cute scene. Stella apologizes to Mike and Vanessa that they can't go with them, so Stella offers them something. It's a slide globe of Althea, and it's an Althea anthem. Yes, we're including this from the Falkers dub because I love this. It's so cheesy and I love it. So Bloom, Stella, and Kiko are ready, and also with their luggages. Bloom sheds a tear before waving them goodbye. And with Stella's scepter, she creates a portal. And then Bloom and Stella and Kiko with the luggages get transported through the portal. And while that's happening, we're going to have a song playing throughout this, this bit. We're going to have that Feels Like Magic song, just like we had in the Fox's version. And through the portal, Bloom, Stella, and Kiko land on Magic's. And Bloom is amazed to what she is seeing. Like, wow. And then Stella and Bloom head on over. They walk towards the horizon and the scene pans towards Althea. The episode ends. Roll the credits. And this is it. We're done with this video. Thank you so much for sticking around watching this entire episode. And once again, I enjoyed making this. I'm going to take a break from making these. I have fun making them, but I don't want to burn myself out making them. So if you like this and you want me to continue, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Have a lovely day.